now let's talk curriculum. So obviously, every curriculum is going to vary in its price, but homeschooling can be done in a shoestring budget, I promise you. It's just a matter of what curriculum you're going to use. And there's so many sources out there where you can go and see if there's something, used curriculum, free curriculum. So I'm including different resources with links down below in the description. After you've considered your budget, also consider your personal style as a family. You've already thought about or researched your children's style, your teaching style, so now you want to see as a family what's going to work for you. So I'd recommend that for each subject you look into about 2 or 3 subject curriculum that you think sounds interesting. Then go on YouTube and have somebody actually show you and walk you through it. I found that that's really been helpful for me. I'm a visual learner, so I actually want to see the product. I want to hear how do I use that product and to see if it's something that's going to work for me before I make that investment. So you might want to do that too. And there's also many different places, like resources, like I mentioned, and some of these resources are linked below. So you can see there's free curriculum, swapping, people like swap curriculum. There's very cost-effective used items too. So that'll be effective for you to try out something new without making that large investment. But like I said, if you have any questions, there's so many Facebook groups out there that will be willing to give you feedback on a particular curriculum that they used and see how they used it at home. And maybe that will help answer some of your questions you have about it. So narrow it down to about 2 to 3 and then go do your research and find out which are going to work for you. Now, keep in mind that this is a process. You're not going to nail it out the gate with the perfect curriculum. I don't even think a perfect curriculum exists. But if you could consider that you're going to be learning from this, something might work, something might not. Maybe just a portion of that curriculum works for you, but not everything. That's okay. It's a learning process. So be patient with yourself, give yourself a little grace, and your children. And don't compare yourself to what your friend's using. Don't compare yourself to what I'm using. Don't compare yourself to what's happening on Pinterest, okay? This is your family, this is your journey, and this is your homeschool. You can glean from others, but don't be discouraged by others. One thing that I always like to remind parents is that homeschooling, when you're just entering into homeschooling, it's a lot like parenthood, you know? We had no idea what to do with our kids when we brought them home, right? They don't come with instructions. So we kind of based it out of instinct, right? Our own parental instinct. And we just kind of kept going. We relied on people that had gone ahead of us, that their children were older, and so they must know what they're talking about, right? And so it's the same thing. You have your community of other homeschool parents that are going to do the same thing for you, that are going to help you along the way, those that are now further along than you. And just like parenthood, you, at the end of the day, when you're raising your child, you want what's best for them. You love them. No one's gonna love them more than you do. And you go on your instinct based on what's the best thing for your child, right? So the same thing with homeschool. Not comparing yourself to others, but really just keeping your child in mind and seeing what's going to be the best for your child, what's going to be the best for your family. And just like your kids grew up, now your kids can talk, your kids can eat, your kids can walk, and you did that. You did that as their first teacher. So that's what makes you super qualified to be their homeschool teacher. You're not alone. You'll always have a community of homeschool parents that are cheering you on, supporting you along the way. So I want to encourage you to get started on homeschooling, and I will always be here for you with any question that you may have. Please feel free to comment below, and if you have someone who can benefit from these videos, please share it with them. You can subscribe to my channel where I've listed other videos that talk about how to do homeschool simply at home. Lastly, I want to encourage you on your journey, and I highly recommend this book, Teaching from Rest. It was the first book I ever read before entering into the curriculum zone of homeschooling, and it just really helps you have the right state of mind and perspective when pursuing homeschooling. Well, maybe a lot of your questions will also be answered, and it's a really short read. It really blessed me to read this book before I started anything. It just kind of got me in the right state of mind. I hope you feel encouraged and excited about pursuing this. I feel so happy and so encouraged to hear your stories of what you're doing. So please feel free to share them here too. Happy homeschooling. For your kid, and it probably will be more effective, Haley Moskin. So you're going to be doodling, Rockford, okay? So
what do I doodle?
Just doodle whatever you want. You usually doodle.
Well, what to think first?
Okay, think first. Everybody look interested. Oh guys, look at this. Okay, Rocco, find something.
Okay.
Rocco, come on. Oh my god, it was like the longest sentence ever. Is where? Just read it to me. Say it. Don't point to it. Roxton, get off of that. Just tell me. Okay, I'm going to pretend that you said this. Yes, Roxton.
No! It's right there!
Wonderful. Good job. High five. Okay. Hey, very good. Awesome. High five. I want to remind you that you're not alone in this journey. What's available out there. Looking that this is a learning progress. This is a learning not because all curriculums are not created equal. Wow, that was a tongue twister.